My name is Joseph Edward Lawarance. I go by Joe Ed. I'm from O'Donnell Heights. When I grew up in my area, everybody worked three places: Sparrows Point Shipyard, or the Fisher Bodies, the Chevrolet plant. And I knew a lot of people who worked at Sparrows Point. My brother was a foreman down at Sparrows Point. So when I got out of the service, I had to find a job, obviously. And I went down to Sparrows Point, and my brother was there, and he said, you wanted to go through as an apprenticeship, an ironworker's apprenticeship, which was really difficult. People think if you're an ironworker, you know, all you do is climb and look pretty, but it's really educational and enhanced. It's smart. In other words, if somebody said to you how to make a pair of steps, you better measure everything correctly, angles, everything else, or you lose money. The ironworkers, I've been with them for 40 years. Most people don't know what an ironworker is. If I told you I was a carpenter, you know, I do lumber work. Pipe fitter, I do pipe work. But what does an ironworker do? I feel like Sparrows Point is a tuxedo, and ironworkers wear a pair of yellow shoes. Ironworker does any maintenance on Sparrows Point. In other words, you have a tin mill, and they have a maintenance unit, but you just do basic work. Well, that tin mill, for some reason, shuts down. They bring the ironworkers in to do the big jobs. We're trained in just about everything on Sparrows Point. Well, 1936, we built the Golden Gate Bridge. And of course, I was young then. But can you imagine, we built the Golden Gate Bridge in Sparrows Point, shipped it to San Francisco. Most of the guys you work for, because it was so tough, they was the same as the military. You know, they was always backing you. Like, we've had jobs where we come at midnight and work on a crane runway. And then one guy come up to me and said, I just got a call. A friend of his kids got hurt and he needs blood. Any of you guys O negative or any kind of blood. And just like that, 4 or 5 guys would go give blood. So you kind of like took care of each other. If you worked at Sparrows Point for 4 or 5 years, you had a nickname for something you did in the past. Like, well, this one guy who was he's from Dundalk, and he put his cigarettes in his lunch bag, and he forgot about them. So he went on a job, and then he remembered. So he went back to get his cigarettes. So he was looking through the bags, and some guys saw him, because everybody had brown bags. See what his nickname was for 40 years? Food inspector. And then we had one guy who was all the time smiling. You say something, you're always smiling. Nickname, Howdy Doody. When they line you up in the morning, they tell you what your gang is. So they'd say, Joe Ed, you working with Bubba and Howdy Doody. And you knew who it was. We meet at McDonald's every morning, ironworkers, group. And by 10 o'clock, we solved all the problems around the world. All the guys down there, they're my brothers. We took care of each other. And that's the way the ironworkers' mentality was. We did a project once on L Furnace, which is existing now. They're going to put a Christmas star on top of it. Well, the guy who was the ironworker's name was John Molly. It was a primary, and a lot of guys worked with him to do that. But he put that star up there. To this day, when you drive down North Point Road, that's the first thing you see up there.